All right, get ready, because today we're diving deep into something that could seriously turn your whole idea of history upside down.
Yeah, this one's a doozy.
We're talking about the possibility of, get this, an advanced ancient civilization.
Older than we can imagine.
Way older.
And right at the center of it all is this super mysterious figure, Thoth.
An Atlantean priest king.
No less.
We're talking ancient texts
Some even older than the Bible.
that hint at technology we can barely even wrap our heads around today.
We're talking flying machines, genetic manipulation.
Even the idea of transferring consciousness.
Wild stuff, right?
It's mind-blowing, and it all comes back to this super intriguing Thoth.
What makes all this even more compelling is that we're not just talking about crazy stories.
Right.
These texts have been studied by some seriously respected historians and scholars for centuries.
Exactly.
I mean, we have to at least consider the possibility that they might have real insights into a past that's way more complex than we've been led to believe.
Okay, so let's start with Thoth. Who was he, and why should we care about what he might have known thousands of years ago?
Well, Thoth is described as this Atlantean priest king, the son of Enki,
Okay.
who's often referred to as one of the Anunnaki.
And now the Anunnaki are a fascinating concept in themselves.
Oh, for sure.
So we're already talking about beings from other planets, other star systems.
Right, who, according to these texts, came to Earth in the distant past.
So Thoth's lineage is already pretty extraordinary.
You could say that.
But on top of that, he was also considered a bringer of knowledge to mankind.
Yeah, he's credited with teaching languages, developing writing systems, even designing those incredible structures like the pyramids.
So he wasn't just some ruler, he was like a teacher,
Right.
a scholar,
Maybe even a scientist.
all rolled into one.
Exactly. And maybe even more intriguing is his association with the Emerald Tablets.
Okay, tell me more about these.
These are ancient texts said to have been written by Thoth himself.
Wow.
And they contain these profound secrets, all this wisdom.
So what kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, what's really mind-blowing is that these tablets are older than biblical texts, but have these strikingly similar messages about creation, the nature of the universe, and humanity's place in it all.
Wow, that's a pretty big deal.
It is.
So where are these emerald tablets now?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
Their current location is a mystery, though some believe they might be tucked away beneath the Vatican archives.
Oh, wow.
Imagine a place known to have countless historical documents.
That's incredible.
Just imagine the secrets those vaults hold.
It's crazy to think about.
But what we do know is that throughout history, figures like Sir Isaac Newton and St. Thomas Aquinas
Wow.
are believed to have studied and translated portions of the Emerald Tablets.
So these texts have been influencing some of the greatest minds for centuries.
It appears so.
That's incredible.
It is.
Okay, but before we go any further,
Sure.
we've mentioned Atlantis and the Anunnaki.
Right.
Can you break those down for us a little?
Of course.
What exactly was Atlantis?
Well, Atlantis, according to these ancient texts, was a seriously advanced civilization established by the Atlanteans,
Okay.
who were said to be a part of the Anunnaki lineage.
So then why did the Anunnaki come to Earth?
Well, that's still debated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some theories suggest they were here to mine resources,
Like what?
especially gold.
Gold, huh?
Others proposed they were looking for a new home, a planet that could support their civilization.
I see.
But sadly, Atlantis met a tragic end.
What happened?
It was destroyed by a cataclysmic flood.
A flood, like the biblical flood.
It's possible. Some theories suggest the Anunnaki either knew about the flood and chose not to intervene,
Wow.
or even more intriguingly, that they might have been directly involved in it happening.
So they could have caused it.
It's a theory.
Whether it was intentional or not, the flood definitely reshaped the world as they knew it.
Absolutely.
Wow, if that's true, it totally changes our understanding of that event and its impact on human history.
It really does.
Okay, so we've got these advanced beings, the Anunnaki, with their incredible technology.
Right.
Just how advanced are we talking?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
We're not talking about basic tools here. The Emerald Tablets actually describe technology that sounds eerily like some of our modern-day weaponry,
Like what?
like the active denial system.
What's that?
It uses electromagnetic waves to create an intense burning sensation,
Oh, wow.
effectively dispersing crowds without causing lasting harm.
Wait, are you saying they had energy weapons thousands of years ago?
That's what the texts seem to suggest.
That's crazy.
I know, it's like something straight out of science fiction.
It really is.
And that's the incredible thing about these ancient texts. They're talking about concepts and technologies that we're just beginning to understand today.
Right.
It really makes you think differently about what ancient civilizations were capable of.
It definitely does.
And it doesn't stop there. Thoth himself was said to have used something called regeneration chambers
Regeneration chamber.
to extend his lifespan.
What?
Imagine that, being able to transfer your consciousness into a new body,
Whoa.
essentially achieving a kind of immortality.
That blows my mind.
It's pretty wild, right?
So they might have had technology we're still struggling to develop today.
It seems that way.
And you said they were master geneticists, too.
Absolutely. According to these texts, the Anunnaki were incredibly skilled at manipulating DNA.
Really?
Yeah, even creating hybrid beings.
Hybrid beings.
This leads to some pretty interesting theories about Noah's Ark.
Okay, what kind of theories?
Well, some scholars believe the Ark, as it's described in the Epic of Gilgamesh, wasn't just a boat for animals, but like a sophisticated DNA bank.
A DNA bank?
A way to preserve and repopulate the Earth with different life forms after the flood.
That's incredible.
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It really is.
So they might have not only known about the flood, but also prepared for it.
Wow.
Essentially terraforming the planet afterwards.
Now, didn't Thoth mention hiding some kind of secret library?
He did.
A place where all this knowledge was stored.
He called them the Halls of Records.
The halls of records.
Hidden chambers containing vast knowledge, advanced technologies, and perhaps even the true history of humanity.
So where are they?
He claimed to have built one beneath the Great Sphinx and another inside the Great Pyramid.
But if they're so well hidden, how do we even know they exist? Has anyone ever found them?
Well, while we haven't actually discovered the Halls of Records themselves,
Right.
recent scans of the Great Pyramid have revealed some previously unknown chambers,
Oh, wow.
which has fueled a lot of speculation that we might be getting closer to actually uncovering these repositories of ancient wisdom.
That's so exciting.
It is.
Just imagine the secrets those chambers could hold.
Blueprints for ancient technology, lost historical records.
Maybe even proof of alien contact.
It's definitely possible.
But here's the big question.
Okay.
If these beings were so advanced and maybe even influenced global events, are they still around?
Now that's a question that's been driving researchers crazy for decades.
It makes sense.
I mean, Thoth himself was said to walk among men,
No way.
supposedly using cloned bodies to remain hidden.
That's wild.
So it's not totally impossible that the Anunnaki or their descendants could still be here,
Watching us.
observing,
Maybe even pulling some strings.
maybe.
It makes you think about all the unexplained phenomena we see in space.
It does, doesn't it?
I mean, there's all this evidence suggesting we're not alone in the universe.
You're right, we've cataloged over 58,000 anomalies,
58,000.
some of which are totally unexplainable.
Like what?
Well, for instance, radar imaging has revealed what looks like a city with a cross-shaped temple on Venus.
On Venus. Are you serious?
Dead serious.
That's incredible.
It is.
So did these Anunnaki seed life on other planets too?
It's possible.
Were they like cosmic architects
What?
shaping civilizations across the galaxy?
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Okay, my head is officially spinning.
I know, it's a lot to take in.
Advanced civilizations, ancient texts, unexplained anomalies in space. It's like we're peeking behind a curtain at a reality we never knew existed.
I agree.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, the most important thing is to keep an open mind.
Okay.
Don't just dismiss these ideas as fantasy.
I won't.
Let's explore these ancient accounts with curiosity and wonder. Who knows? We might stumble upon truths that change our whole understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe.
That's a great point.
I think so.
And that's something to keep in mind as we continue our deep dive into the world of Thoth and the Anunnaki.
Absolutely. Welcome back to our deep dive into Thoth and the Anunnaki.
We're back.
So we've been exploring all these accounts of ancient civilizations, advanced technology, beings from other planets.
Yeah.
But it's really amazing how some of these ancient ideas kind of seem to connect with the cutting-edge science happening today.
It's like these ancient texts were hinting at things we're only now beginning to grasp with modern science.
I know.
Like when we were talking about Thoth's supposed ability to transfer his consciousness into new bodies.
Achieving a kind of immortality.
Right.
It sounded pretty far out there at first, but now I'm thinking, are there any connections in today's scientific world?
Actually, yeah. There are some really intriguing developments in fields like neuroscience and biotechnology that kind of mirror these ancient concepts.
Okay, like what?
Well, Take, for example, the recent breakthroughs in DNA data storage.
DNA data storage.
Scientists at Microsoft have actually developed a DNA hard drive.
A DNA hard drive? What?
Yeah, and it can store massive amounts of digital information.
That's wild. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. How does that even work?
It's pretty amazing they've figured out how to encode digital data directly onto DNA molecules, which are super dense and stable for storage.
So instead of ones and zeros, they're using A, T, C, and G.
Exactly.
Wow.
Think about it. If we can store information in DNA, what else could we store?
Right.
What if consciousness itself is a form of information
Oh.
that can be encoded and transferred? So you're saying that what Thoth was supposedly doing thousands of years ago with his regeneration chambers
Yeah.
might actually be possible with the tech we're developing today.
It's a pretty mind-blowing thought, right?
It is.
Of course, we're still in the very early stages of this kind of research.
Right.
I mean, transferring something as complex as human consciousness is a huge challenge.
Yeah, of course.
But the progress we're making in fields like genetic engineering and AI is advancing incredibly fast.
It's amazing to think that we might be on the verge of unlocking secrets that were known to these ancient civilizations.
I know, it's pretty exciting.
But like you said, we're talking about some seriously powerful technology here.
Yeah.
What happens if this knowledge falls into the wrong hands?
That's a really important question, and it's one we need to consider seriously.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where the rich and powerful can basically live forever,
Right.
transferring their consciousness into new bodies, while the rest of us are left to deal with, being human.
That's a scary thought.
It raises some huge ethical and societal questions that we need to start addressing, like, now.
You're right. It's pretty sobering when you think about it.
It is.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about those halls of records.
Sure.
We touched on them earlier, but I'm still so curious.
Yeah.
If these repositories of ancient knowledge actually exist, what kind of information could they contain?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
What secrets are hidden in those chambers?
Right.
Some people believe they hold the true history of humanity,
Oh, wow.
including evidence of alien contact and tech that could totally revolutionize our world.
That's incredible.
Others think they might contain spiritual teachings, philosophical insights,
Interesting.
maybe even the keys to unlocking human potential.
It's like a treasure chest of lost wisdom just waiting to be discovered.
I know, right?
But if these holes are so well hidden, how could we ever hope to find them?
Well, there are people working on that right now.
Oh, really?
There are ongoing efforts to explore the areas where they're thought to be located.
Like where?
Researchers are using all sorts of advanced techniques, like ground-penetrating radar and muon tomography, to map out the spaces beneath these ancient structures.
Muon tomography. That sounds super high-tech. What is that?
It's really cool. It's this tech that lets scientists basically see inside solid objects without having to dig them up.
Wow.
Muons are these subatomic particles that can pass through dense materials.
Okay.
And by analyzing their paths, researchers can create 3D images of hidden chambers and passageways.
So it's like having X-ray vision for ancient monuments?
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It is. And with every new scan, we get a little closer to uncovering these secrets that have been hidden for thousands of years.
This is all so exciting, but it also makes you wonder, if these halls of records have such incredible knowledge, why have they been kept secret for so long?
That's a question that has baffled people for centuries.
I bet.
Some believe the knowledge in those halls is just too dangerous for us to handle right now.
Too dangerous, how?
Maybe we're not ready for it as a species.
Okay.
Others think powerful forces have been actively suppressing this information
To control us.
to maintain control. Exactly.
It's like a real-life conspiracy thriller.
I know, right.
But regardless of the reason, the idea that we might uncover these secrets in our lifetime is pretty amazing.
It is. It makes you realize we're living in a pretty extraordinary time.
Yeah.
The veil is slowly being lifted.
Right.
We're getting these glimpses of a reality that's beyond anything we ever imagined.
I have to say, this deep dive has totally changed my perspective.
And you too.
It's like looking at the world with new eyes.
I agree.
And it all started with this mysterious Thoth and the ancient texts he supposedly left behind.
Thoth's legacy is a testament to the power of knowledge and the mystery of our ancient past.
It really is.
It reminds us that there's always more to discover,
Always more to learn.
and the truth might be a lot stranger than fiction. As we go deeper into this whole thing with Thoth, the Anunnaki, and the possibility of these advanced ancient civilizations, you start to wonder about their motivations.
It's true.
I mean, if they were so advanced, why come to Earth in the first place?
Yeah, what was so special about our little planet?
Right. Was it just for resources, like some theories say?
Yeah, or was there something more?
Something about Earth, maybe even humanity itself, that they found interesting.
I mean, it's a big universe out there.
It is.
Why us?
There are definitely a bunch of different theories out there, each with its own kind of crazy implications.
Like what?
Well, some researchers say the Anunnaki were drawn to all the gold on Earth.
Gold.
Yeah, they needed it to stabilize their own planet's atmosphere.
Wow. That's pretty wild.
Imagine that, an advanced civilization traveling across the galaxy just to mine for gold.
That's a long way to go for some gold.
It is. Makes you think about what lengths we might go to if we were in a similar situation.
That's true.
But then there are the theories that say they were looking for a new home.
A new home? Like to colonize?
Exactly.
But why Earth?
Well, think about it. Earth has all these diverse ecosystems, a life-sustaining environment.
It's pretty great when it's not trying to kill us.
Right.
So it could have been a good option for an advanced civilization looking to relocate.
Exactly.
But if that's the case, why interact with humans at all?
Yeah, why not just set up shop and get on with their plans? That's where things get even more mysterious.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Some of these ancient texts actually suggest that the Anunnaki saw something unique in humans.
Really? Like what?
Potential, maybe, for growth and evolution.
So they thought we were worth something.
It's possible. Maybe they believe that by sharing their knowledge and technology, they could help us evolve, put us on the path toward enlightenment.
That's pretty amazing.
It is, isn't it?
So not just exploiting our planet, but actually guiding us.
It kind of changes the whole story, doesn't it?
It does. Goes from a simple story about mining to something way more complex.
Like a tale of interspecies interaction.
Maybe even mentorship.
Yeah, it raises some really profound questions about our origins, our purpose.
Our place in the cosmos.
Exactly.
I mean, if we really are the result of genetic manipulation or interaction with these advanced beings, what does that say about us?
It's a question people have been asking for centuries.
Oh, that.
But now, with all the advances in science and technology, we're starting to look at these questions in a whole new light.
So we're closer to the truth.
Maybe. We're starting to uncover clues that hint at a past that's way more complex and interconnected than we ever thought possible.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. It's both exciting and a little overwhelming.
I know what you mean.
To realize that we might be on the verge of discoveries that could rewrite history
Yeah.
and redefine what it means to be human.
Well, one thing's for sure, we're living in some pretty interesting time.
We are, that's for sure.
And as we continue to explore these ancient mysteries,
Yeah.
we need to stay open to new possibilities.
Absolutely.
Challenge what we think we know.
Be ready to be surprised,
And embrace the mystery of it all.
because who knows what we might find.
Well, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into Thoth, the Anunnaki, and the fascinating possibility of advanced ancient civilizations.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has, filled with mind-bending ideas and mysteries that might never be fully solved.
But that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
It is, so keep those minds open, stay curious, and never stop searching for the truth.
Until next time.
Keep diving deep.